Good morning, friends. We are on chapter number 6 of account part 2, that is conventions, assumption, concept, and principles of accounting. Today, in this lecture, we are going to talk about consistency concept. The principle of consistency suggests that while writing accounts for preparing financial statement, the same policies, procedures, and methods should be followed every year. In other words, policies, procedures, and method followed while writing accounts or for preparing financial statement should be followed consistently year after year. So, simple meaning that whatever method or procedure you follow to prepare your accounts, you should follow the same method every year. It can also be stated that the consistency concept requires that once an entity had decided on one accounting method, it should use the same method for all subsequent events of the same type of periods unless there is a sound reason to change the same. Accounts remain comparable only if consistency is maintained. If consistency is not maintained in accounting, the accounts may not remain comparable and can also mislead at times. So, friends, if consistency is not maintained, then accounts may not remain comparable, and to comparable is the characteristic of accounting, that the account should be prepared in such a way that they are comparable. But if it is not prepared with the consistency, that is methods and procedures are not followed, same methods and same procedure are not followed every year, then the accounts will not be comparable and can also mislead at times. For example, if stock is valued by FIFO method, FIFO, that is what, first in first out, the entity should follow the same method year after year as far as possible. If the method used for stock valuation is changed every year, the accounts do not remain comparable, and the profit or loss position of different years may also indicate different positions. Consistency also required that such method should not be changed frequently unless there is a compelling reason to do so. So, simply normally the method should not be changed unless there is a compelling reason to do so. Now, something to note here, it should be remembered that accounting practice that is followed based on some accounting principle or concept consistently does not violate the principle of consistency. For example, valuation of stock at market price or cost price, whichever is less, this will not violate the principle of consistency. Consistency concept refers to consistency over a time, and it does not mean that the treatment of different category of transactions must be consistent with one another. It only means that transaction in a given category must be treated consistently from one accounting period to the next one. For example, fixed assets are valued at cost, whereas inventory or stock in trade is valued at cost or market price, whichever is less. So there is no violation of principle of consistency here. And now, in the consistency principle, personal bias can be avoided. The accountant has to follow consistently the same set of principle, practices, procedures, or method every year. The logic behind the principle of consistency is that the user of financial statement lose confidence in the accounts if frequent changes are made in the policies or practices based on the personal whims or fancy of those preparing the same. The following are some of the practices or illustrations based on this concept. So let us see some illustration of this concept. Normally there are two. One is about the method of depreciation, another is method of valuation of stock. First one, the depreciation is provided by written down value method in a year. In the same method should be followed consistently every year. The consistency in method of depreciation allows reader of financial statement ease in comparing the profitability of different period without any need for adjustment in the figures. For example, if method is changed from straight line to written down value method in the next year, the comparison of profit or loss of 2 years would require analysts to take into account the impact of change in the method of depreciation. However, if there is no change in the method, the comparison of result of 2 years would be easier. So simply the method of depreciation should not be changed, and if it is changed, then the one who is doing the analysis need to know this. He need to be informed about this, that the method has been changed, because if method will be changed, then profit will not be comparable unless this thing is considered, and if method is not changed, then profit will be comparable. Second one is the method of stock valuation should be followed consistently and it should not be changed frequently. This statement is based on principle of consistency, as it suggests that accounting practice should remain the same from one year to another. It is not proper to value stock in trade according to one method in 1 year and according to another method in next year. There are different method of valuation of stock: FIFO, LIFO, average, weighted average. So whatever method you adopt in 1 year, you need to continue with the same method in all the years. The method of valuation of stock should not be changed frequently. Okay, so friends, this was all about consistency concept. In next lecture we will be doing accrual concept. Thank you.